Love in the heart, love in the heart, I feel. Hello, beloved ones. 𝐤𝐤𝐬𝐬 here, your authentic self, an embodiment coach and quantum healer. Wow. It's amazing, isn't it? Here we are, end of 2021. And I just invite you to just take a deep breath and just feel into your body. Just feel what is showing up, especially when I talk about victim consciousness. When you just think of the word victim, what is coming through for you, I'd like you to connect with that. And I'm not saying sit with it, I'm just saying feel into it. What is coming through for you? Because you might hear the word victim and maybe you're just jumping out already like, hey, I'm not a victim, you know? And it's not a bad thing to be a victim. This is what I want to bring forth. Is one of the patterns that somehow as human beings we have agreed to come and experience here on earth. It's one of the survival patterns. We use it when you want to survive. But there comes a point when we desire to do more than just survive. We wanna thrive. And it calls you to let go of aligning with the victim. It calls you to agreeing with other people, no matter how they treat you, no matter what is showing up. If you agree that you're a victim, it's kind of like that's where you meet with other people energetically. And as I said as well, when you look at the victim, it's we've experienced that at some point in our lifetime, at some point in our evolution. We went through some experiences where we felt that someone is doing something to me. What am I gonna do? Where all those emotions are just showing up. So it's easy for us to relate to each other through the victim. And some people use it to also gain some sympathy from other people. No matter what they do, they're just gonna go ahead and just create this picture that someone is doing something to me you don't understand, because they don't want to take responsibility. And it's the pattern that we've used for some time. It has worked for us. But like I said, as much as other people might gather around you and hold space for you and pour you and all that, um, eventually you make it your identity. It's kind of like for them to understand why I am not showing up for myself, for them to understand why I'm living the life that I'm living, I have to show up as a victim, and you start attracting same experiences because you need to show up something, right? Like, hey, here I am as a victim. So you want to attract those things. So I feel it is time that we both raise our hands and say, I am not going to be a victim. I am choosing to know who I am. I am choosing to claim my personal power, which I feel a lot of things that are happening out there or that have been happening for the past 2 years or whatever, even though they've been happening for a long time, but it seems like it has been more out in the surface this past 2 years. It's calling us to say, do you really know who you are? Do you really know what you want? What are you aligning with? And I went through this experience. This is why I used a picture of me and my child, because the time when I really woke up to realizing that it's time for me to choose to just identify with what everybody out there is doing, or for me to just let go of just belonging, because at times we just want to belong, therefore we just align with whatever that is in front of us. So the time when I woke up from this was when I was going through the whole process with my children, court cases and all that, and I felt powerless. And this is one of the experience that um it sounds like one or the other in this lifetime, I've agreed to grow through these experiences. And I looked at some things that were showing up this year, as much as a part of me was resenting all that was happening and I was just kicking. And I realized that I'm not creating this now. This is part of the things that I have created some years ago, because when you look at things at times, truly what you're going to experience tomorrow depends on what you're creating right now. What you're experiencing right now is what you created in the past. So it's time that you choose wisely to say, I am not going to be a victim. No matter what is happening out there, no matter what is being said, no matter the circumstances, I'm going to look at this. I'm going to reclaim my personal power. I choose to know who I am. I will not be a victim. I will not continue attracting things and people that are going to show me or somehow prove to me that I agree to be a victim. It's time that you say, no, I am not going to agree with that. I am not going to be a victim. I will not be a victim. It's time to declare and decree that I choose to stand in my power. I choose to create my life however that I want. And this is what at times calls you to say, if at all some people have been in your life and that they're not benefiting you for your highest and greatest good, you can say, I choose to love you from far. I'm not gonna hate you because you have not done anything wrong. And I don't normally talk about um forgiveness. And when you choose to not be a victim, I feel most of the forgiveness part is done when we choose to look at ourselves and say, I've made decisions here. Um, I might have chosen to see things the way I wanted, not as they are. Because this is one of the things that at times when you think of, we talk about love and light, right? And at times it's not love and light, only there is love and light and darkness and a bit of this and that. And it's not to make whatever darkness that is there wrong. It's just to say, are you willing to see it as it is, not to judge it and say you are not supposed to be here because I only want love and light. Just the same as at times we want to put a blindfold or something like that and claim that, oh, I just want to be positive. And we want to deny how we are feeling. I got to a point where I realized that even some of the betrayal that I felt, especially this year, I looked at things, I realized that I have not been betrayed, really. I'm the one who chose to see other people as I wanted them to be because I chose to anchor in love. Therefore, I somehow had this illusion that because I choose to anchor in love, other people will return that back to me instead of seeing things as they are. And this is what normally calls us to connect to our animal aspects. Because the animal aspect is the one that instinct that will tell you that something is off here. Just be careful. Or you can just switch it off and just say, oh, it's just love and light. And then when something happens, you get disappointed, you get pain, you feel betrayed and all that. But when you choose things as they are, it's another thing to say, I I see the light that is in you, but since you are not choosing to claim it, I will not allow you to to disrespect my light. At times it just comes to that and say, I choose to love you from far, and you continue with who you are. There's knowing who you are. So at times it calls us to forgive ourselves for things that we have agreed to. I still remember, just because I'm just taking you through my experience in 2021. I still remember in some of the dreams that there is someone that I was close to, like whenever this person shows up, I'm just up there to help them out and all that. And I had some dreams where in the dreams I could see that they are not we are not really at the same level. It's kind of like they're coming to just get, they're not there to offer the same support. There is no give and take. But still, despite what I was being shown, I went ahead and did what I did until the time when I felt like I would use some support here. And I realized that someone who I always showed up for them, and actually some of the stuff that I was carrying was not even mine. It was just a whole lot of load that I'm always taking, when you are friendshipping or whatever that you call it. And a part of me wanted to feel like, I've been used here. You want to feel like a victim a little bit. And a part of me was just like, come on, just get out of it. What is it that was calling you to show up that much for that other person? Because it's another thing when you show up extremely, like you extend your hand and even cut your hand and give it to somebody else, rather than saying, hold my hand, I'll help you, and then meet you halfway you know so I realized that some of the things I'm the one who chose to, because somehow there is something that I wanted to prove, or someone I wanted someone to sort of love me for what I do for them or something like that. So you get to really look at some things that you are calling yourself a victim for, to say, was I really a victim? Did someone really do something to me? Or there is something that I needed? So there was a way for me to get it through that path that ended you that ended up making you feel as a victim. I hope you get me, you know. So I'm just calling you forth as is the end of 2021. What are you releasing? And what are you replacing it with? Because at times we just like, oh, I want to release this, I want to release this, and we leave a void. And the same shit comes again. So you have to be specific with what you want to replace, with what you are opening yourself up for the magical, orgasmic, blissful 2022. I feel it's a magical year. You can even fill the numbers as well, you know, but it's your choice because we have a choice. So we can choose. So with that said, just take a deep breath. It's a lot that I'm just feeling. And I'll just call Spirit to send us the healing streams of grace and divine light consciousness to release anywhere and everywhere where you've had agreements, vows to suffering and pain, anywhere and everywhere where somehow there is something that you are benefiting from feeling as a victim. We just ask that all those things that you've been holding into as a victim, we ask all of that to be cleared at its point of origin throughout all space-time continuum in all dimensions. Anything and everything that is interfering with you claiming your power, anything and everything that is interfering with you really feeling your worth, really remembering who you are, claiming your magnificent being. We ask all of that to be cleared at its point of origin throughout all space-time continuum in all dimensions. I call for Spirit to really activate the highest frequencies of love, the highest frequencies of joy, the highest frequencies of self-worth. And anywhere and everywhere where there is a conflict between your mind and your heart, we just ask all of that to be cleared at its point of origin throughout all space-time continuum in all dimensions. We ask that it be cleared with its hooks and anchors as we ask Spirit to really wrap you in a bubble of truth so that you can see things in truth as they are, not as how you want them to be. So just take a breath and release all of that as we ask for the highest frequencies of love, of bliss, of joy. We just ask God, Spirit, universe, whatever you call it, to show you how it feels like to really claim your personal power, to show up as who you are in your truth without looking around you asking for confirmation or approval or whatever. So we just ask all those survival patterns, all those imprints, the beliefs, the thought patterns that you are holding into to be cleared fully as you step into 2022. And we invoke the spirit of the wood elemental and water elemental to really release all those energies that you're holding into that does not serve your highest and greatest good, to rebalance what needs to be rebalanced and to recreate what needs to be recreated so that you can step in with your creativity. You can step in opening up to flow and ease, opening up to receive what is rightfully and divinely yours. With that said, I wish you nothing but a blissful, orgasmic, and magical 2022. I love you. And I just hope you step forth and just raise your hand and say, our ancestors went through this life. They lived through the victim. We went through it as well. And it's time we put an end to it. One of us has to raise a hand and say, I am not going to be a victim. I will not be a victim. I claim my personal power. I remember who I am. Divine victim consciousness ends with me. And dissolve all those vows, contracts, agreements, all those agreements that you had with pain and suffering. Because at times you might be aware that at times you want to do something and you hold yourself back like, oh, I wish my family can see this, or I wish my partner can see this, if only they can see things the way. So you are holding yourself back from evolving, from expanding, because you just pray that other people can see things the way they are and really drain you. So release the victim and claim the magnificent being that you are. Thank you, my lovely. Unfortunately, I cannot see your name now, but I really, really appreciate your presence and your energy here. And I just hope you got what you got from here, from this session here. And I wish you all the best as you step into 2022. Embrace the magic and the bliss that comes with you being your authentic self as you claim your unique self activation codes and highest frequencies so that you can fully align with your highest potential and highest consciousness. Much love to you. Oh, it's you, my lovely Christina. Thank you for your presence, my darling. I wish you all the best. We'll get in touch. You know we always do. Much love.